Thank you, and may I take the chance to show my gratitude for the opportunity to address you all here today in the Granite City. As I stand before you today, we are a party with independence within our reach. As national convener of Young Scots for Independence, I often think about the role that young people will play in the decades that follow today. I think about where we are as a nation and where we are going together. And I think about the momentous implications of the fact that with work, with honesty, with the courage to stand by our convictions, my generation will be the first in centuries to live most of our lives in an independent Scotland. But we aren't there yet. I therefore invite you to join me in considering the historic times that we now live in. Scotland is a nation on a journey. A journey towards independence, of course, but even more importantly, to more ambitious horizons beyond that first step. When I was 2 years old, the Scottish Parliament met once again for the first time in 3 centuries. This was a moment of self-belief, a cultural epoch marked by the words that we carved into that very building. Today's young Scots are already the first generation to have always known a Scottish Parliament. This is a fact that we often forget. And for all of my teenage and my adult life, I've only ever known an SNP Scottish Government. So this is something that I think would have been unthinkable. Of course. This would have been absolutely unthinkable for my parents' generation. So let us remind ourselves of that truth and be proud that having been in government for so long, we remain committed, we remain principled, and we remain on our toes. The SNP will never take the Scottish people for granted. The SNP has delivered for Scotland for over 12 years, and it is delivering for young people today. For over a decade, young people like me have benefited from the opportunity to go to university tuition-free, safe in the knowledge that with the SNP government, we will never have to pay to learn. Today, young people graduating or leaving secondary school and entering into their careers benefit from the fairest tax system anywhere in the UK, a system built of political choice, not of political convenience. It's a system that matches our aspirations as a party, and in my conviction, one that is in tune with who we are as a country. With Kevin Stewart's housing leadership, the SNP Scottish Government is quite literally building a new Scotland. Our party has built tens of thousands of affordable new homes across our country, and we are making the millennial objective of home ownership less of an impossibility. And on top of this, so much more. Yet we still have so far to go. The price of inequality is lost potential. When Jimmy Reid spoke of the bright windows and the high flats where dormant talent perished from a lack of opportunity, he was telling a story that we all recognise in many of our own sad ways. But it's a story that's changing. Our country is now undeniably the best place to grow up anywhere in the UK thanks to our Scottish Government. Yet equally undeniable is the grim reality that this work can never be finished without independence. But we are so close to achieving just that. But the road ahead is perilous. We face a no-deal Brexit in a matter of weeks, and Tory misrule with no end in sight. I wish I could stand here and tell you that there was a shortcut, an easy route to our goal, but there isn't. The prize is simply too valuable to be won without great effort. So let us reject the insecurity of reaction and fully embrace the dignity of a nation on its way to independence. Let's start how we mean to go on. Let's recognise that we will win by having millions of conversations with the Scots who have yet to be convinced by our arguments, by working harder as activists than we ever have before, and by bringing people along with us on our journey. Let's see that this journey is worth it in itself, and how we achieve our independence will affect exactly what that independent nation will look like. It will be your voices on the doorsteps, in writing, in the press, on social media, everywhere, that will set the tone of the oldest newly independent nation in the world. Your words and your actions will echo through the generations that come before us, or come beyond us, those that are privileged enough to be part of this journey. How we act now will affect the message that we send to ourselves and to the world about who we are and in what ways we can be counted upon. So consider, what does independence mean to you? To what end does it serve? What constitution would you proclaim? And what founding myths would you embrace? And how would you turn those myths into reality? Independence has never been the end goal. It has always been the means to an end. That end must be built of higher ambitions than anything that Westminster could ever offer Scotland. So let's aim higher than Brexit. Let's aim higher than austerity. Aim higher than the status quo. And let's aim higher than the rat race. We are almost there. But to complete the journey to independence, we will have to heed the immortal words of Alistair Gray. Words that shine even brighter now than when they were first put to paper in the 80s, or when we put them on stone in our Parliament in 2004, or when we placed them across our hearts and then onto our sleeves in 2014. Work as if you live in the early days of a better nation. So let's win the campaign and build a beacon of fairness, of equality and of opportunity. An independent Scotland. A Scotland that future generations of young Scots will be proud to call home. Thank you.